Oh my God, check this out. I'm frozen, and it's a local session. What is wrong with this thing? Got something new to show you guys. It's a brand new laptop from LG. Now, full disclosure, LG did send us this laptop to review, but they did not review the content of this video. So whatever screw ups or mess ups I make in this video will be entirely my fault, and they didn't get a chance to help out with that at all. All right, so I'm gonna open this box here because we just want to get inside. We want to get acquainted with this laptop. It is a 17-inch notebook, so I'm very excited to see what they've been able to do with the size of it, because 17s are usually quite large. Now, the LG Gram series is actually LG's way of creating a super thin and light notebook. It's the use of their materials and the craftsmanship. It's completely different than a lot of different laptops out there because they're built specifically to be like just slim, just something you want to take with you, and unexpectedly light because of their use of magnesium in the construction. Magnesium is a lot lighter than aluminum, so they're able to make a thinner chassis as well as a lighter chassis at the same time. This guy here weighs about 2.98 pounds, but for us metric folk in Canada, that's about 1,350 grams. Now for the peel. Let's see if I can get this right the first time. There we go, and that reveals the Gram branding for us at the top. Doesn't say LG, it's just Gram. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to do a quick test of how well weighted notebooks are by simply pulling up on their lids and seeing if the base stays down. So I'm going to take one finger and I'm going to open the screen. Nice, and there's barely any screen wobble here, so it's a very well balanced laptop. And pulling away the cover, because it's a 17-inch laptop, we've got a full-size keyboard. Now I'm going to show you something real quick here before we do anything else. This is a 17-inch laptop, right? So it should be pretty big. Not necessarily. Let me show you something. This guy here is my battle-hardened Dell XPS 15. This is one of the de facto standard creator laptops out there for the PC crowd, and it's been with me for quite some time. It's thin, but it's not exactly lightweight. But how much bigger is it than this laptop? Well, let's overlay that here. And as you can see, it's not that much bigger. Check it out. Okay, so let's talk about some of the specs and some of the important things about this laptop. It is an Intel EVO platform laptop. That means that it's going to have a Core i7 series processor. This is the 11th gen. It runs at 2.8 gigahertz. Very powerful, and it's a quad core as well too. It's also got 16 gigabytes of RAM on board. To give you an idea of how much power that is, you could open 9,000 tabs in Chrome. Do you need that many tabs? Probably not, but you can do that. It also has 1 terabyte of SSD storage on board using the NVMe standard. It's going to pop open apps and programs super fast. It's going to load the operating system really quick initially, and when you bring it from sleep mode to wake, it's going to take less than a second to do that, which is extremely impressive. A battery life on something like this, well, you just saw my XPS 15. That thing, if I'm lucky, I get maybe 6 hours with this. This one right here, it's rated for 19.5 hours. That's incredible. And because it's also an Intel EVO standard laptop, as denoted by this little symbol right here, it's going to have Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth, and it even has fast charging on board, which is fantastic. But what I'm most interested in is this little sticker right here. Alexa on board. What does that actually mean? Can I replace an Echo speaker? Can I replace a display of some sorts? I'm looking forward to finding that out. But before we do that, I'm going to have to put this thing on a charge because it came to us depleted. But in the meantime, I'm going to check out some of the accessories in the box. So while the laptop's charging, let's look at what accessories come in the box. And right under where the laptop was sitting, it looks like there's something inside. Let's find out what it is. Instruction manual, yes. Your PC laptop warranty, as well as your installation guide. On the other side over here, you've got your charger. Now this one here is very GAN-like. It's very small, and it has a USB-C connection over here. And this is just a power cord to plug into the charging brick. So while I was charging this guy up, I actually noticed something interesting. I noticed that there are two Type-C USB 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. And you know, it's often very easy to plug things into the wrong ports when they look identical. Well, both ports are identical, and I was curious as to which one would accept the power, because this laptop will accept a input charge of about 100 watts. So I plugged it into this port first because it looked like the indicator was closest to it, which was fine. And then I decided to tempt fate and plug it into the other port. So guess what? They both work. So that's a good thing. So whether or not you plug it into this port or this port, you can still charge the laptop, no problem. I also wanted to point out on this side, we also see a 3.5mm headphone jack. This is for both mic and for headphones. So if you have one of the headphones that have all that integrated, or one of the headsets that's all integrated like that, this will work perfectly with this laptop. I also wanted to show you on the other side, two more legacy USB 3.2 ports. This is denoted by the blue over here. These are Type A. So those are the original flat kind of older style ports. Everything else these days is Type C, which is reversible. These are not, so please make sure that 50% of the time you may plug it in wrong. There is also a micro SD card slot. Now, this isn't my most favorite thing, especially because the LG Gram is targeted towards creators and gamers and business users. The more common type of card is going to be your SDXC or SDHC cards, which are the full-size cards in most cameras these days. The micro SD is going to find fewer use case scenarios, unless, of course, you shoot all day long on GoPros or drones. The other part of that is, if you do have a micro SD port on the side, you can't make it any bigger. So you're kind of stuck that way. If LG had put a SDXC or SDHC port on the side, well, guess what? You can just use an adapter and use it for both. So unfortunately, not my favorite feature here. I did also notice one thing when I was placing this down, and that's the fact that even though this laptop is very well built, and the magnesium is quite stiff, the lid has this flex on it that makes me uncomfortable. Check it out. Do you see that? Here, let me put it on the table, and hopefully we can show this to you from the reflection. Do you see how much deflection there is? That's actually quite scary, especially to me, because if you were to put this in a backpack, or in a case, and you put stuff on top of it and you close that bag, I feel that at some point something's gonna give. Now, we won't have this laptop long enough to actually figure out whether or not that's gonna be a long-term problem. So if you do have an LG Gram 17 or one of the previous models, the 2020 model, and if you did experience a problem or not, please comment below and let us know, all right? So moving on right here, hopefully we've got enough of a charge here that we can boot up the display right here. So I'm gonna unplug. I'm gonna open it up with one finger, which is fantastic. Now, while we have the screen on here, I'm gonna talk about the fact that it's a 400 nit screen running a resolution of 2560 by 1600. I noticed that it's not 4K. Now, I think the reason why LG decided to do that was because of the battery life. A higher resolution screen is going to suck up a lot more power. Now, even though it's running IrisXe graphics, which is Intel's graphics package, and it's also part of the Intel EVO platform, there's only so much that you can do to pull back on the power consumption when the screen needs to be lit up this much. So 2560 by 1600, which is about a 16 to 10 aspect ratio, I think is a good compromise. I would have liked to have seen a 4K display, but I would also expect that the battery life would be significantly reduced. A 19.5 hour battery life is very good for the marketing materials. So if that were to be cut in half or cut in a third, it probably wouldn't show as well against other competitors, especially because 2560 by 1600 is so decent. Okay, so it's all set up. We've got the right language installed on here. We're struggling with a little bit of French language here, but luckily I'm bilingual. So I figured that out pretty quick. Now we have English. And one of the things I wanted to check out was, of course, this Alexa integration and how it worked. Well, it appears that it's actually some sort of app that runs in the background. You just need to set it up with your Alexa Amazon account and you're good to go. So Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 4:49 p.m.
Alexa, how many people live in Canada?
In 2020, the population of Canada was 37.7 million people.
So overall, it works pretty good. It's basically like having an Echo speaker built right inside your laptop, which is convenient, but if you already have Echo speakers around the home, might not be such a big deal, or if you have it integrated into your phone or even into your smartwatch as well too. It's a nice to have. The other thing that we wanted to check out is because this is kind of a creator business oriented laptop, and we did find out that this is not a touchscreen. So it's not as, how should I say, it's not as full featured as some of the other laptops out there. We wanted to find out if the webcam capabilities were good on it. So we have Zoom running right here. So here is the camera running, and there's Robin over there. And I think it does an okay job, but in a day-to-day basis, you don't really want to send too much data back and forth. This is only a 720p camera, and I would say it's passable. It's not the best quality out there, but it does seem to do the job. One of the other things that's extremely important about a laptop is not only the display quality, but also the audio that comes out of it. And because we're using these devices for multimedia and everything else like that, both of those things are equally important. So let me just show you a quick video over here so we can get a quick bearing as to how this thing sounds and what the video quality is going to be like. So we've queued up a video from one of our YouTube channel videos, and this looks pretty good. Let's have a listen.
Like a nice day at the beach to catch some rays, relax, and listen to your favorite music. I'm a Sonos guy, and I've been trying out the Sonos Move for a while now to listen to my favorite tunes while on the go. But it is a little bit larger, so I'm kind of excited. They've come out with a newer.
What'd you guys think? It looks pretty good. It's 400 nits, as we mentioned before, and it's also a very high quality screen with about a 99% DCI P3 rating. Adobe ratings will also be extremely high, so if you were to proof photos or videos for clients and whatnot, you should be able to do it fairly successfully on this screen. Now, one thing that we did notice is, and because this will be a device that will follow you outside anywhere that you go, the screen is a bit glossy. So no matter what you do, it's going to have a bit of a reflection. So keep that in mind. Don't hold it against it. It's just physics working. A mirrored display is going to reflect no matter what. If you do want to use it outdoors, you should probably look for a screen that has a matte finish. They're starting to become a lot harder to find. The other option that I've found out there is there's these screen overlays that you can buy that are matte. It will reduce the glariness, but it can also reduce the quality of the display that you have. So keep in mind. So this laptop, it's super promising. It doesn't have a touchscreen like a lot of laptops at this price point, which is $2,249. But having said that though, this is a 17-inch laptop. It's a bigger screen than a lot of 15-inch laptops out there, of course, but the size of it is almost the same. It doesn't have a touchscreen, which is not really that big of a loss if you're more of a business type user, but I think that I would find that if I was like doing a lot more multimedia content or consuming content, I'd find that a little bit more annoying, but overall, if I'm just typing on it, doing spreadsheets, and this is a great laptop to type on because it is not a 10 keyless, it has a full-size keypad, numpad on the side here. It's going to do great in that space. So we're going to be trying to squeeze as much time out of this laptop as possible because we do have to give it back right away. But whatever we're going to find out, we're going to be sharing on Instagram as a reel or on YouTube as a short. But if there's something specific that you want us to check on this laptop, drop us a note below in the comments. We love hearing from you, and whatever we can do, we will definitely do that for you. I'm Steven signing off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video. Adios.
Adios.
My God, it's not my thing.